That's his magic now.
Alright, we're back. After this intermission.
Almost. I just need to find the hanger.
Just scream.
Fire, the other to follow him. Yeah.
And they're knocking them.
What do they say?
Oh, they just talk.
Probably.
Your mother is Welsh. Your mother is Welsh.
I had a friend of mine who was at this bar. He took an arrow to the button. So they will build these sets for the LARP to make it look the right way.
Poor dead guy.
Yeah, over the top. Yeah.
I like the guys just hanging out.
Oh, the defenders are gonna lose.
Oh, there we go. Go.
Get with the.
Get him.
Go on.
Oh man.
Oh, here comes the hammer.
That guy's. Oh, it's heavy.
That's the ogre, yeah.
Oh, Bob.
He dropped his helmet. Kill them all.
This guy's having a hard time staying upright in his armor.
Oh, they probably have to do like a 5 count after a cannon fire. So they go down and you can see him
He was the only one. Nobody's using it.
Yeah, that's crossbow from the as well.
Oh, guns, crossbow.
Like 5 minutes.
And you can see the arrows going there.
You can see he's robbing everybody.
The other team.
Yeah. That's right. The attack is being thwarted.
So awesome. Just gives him the finger.
alone, Mel Brooks.
Do not make me touch you again.
You see what's happening when he's tired from it.
Oh, here comes the ogre.
Yeah.
Tear the wall down.
It hurt the ogre.
Yeah.
There's a yellow guy.
He's like a thing.
This is the crow.
He's.
I didn't end well for that guy either.
There was a slightly more energized footage than the quiet dinner with the family.
I picture the cameraman with branches all over.
I'm a woodman. You can see me. Oh, sweet.
And someone dropped the
The guy's got to get back behind the line. Quick.
Takes
All
a
right.
week to reload.
Enough fun, I guess. So I chose this picture to summarize kind of the symbol of this style of LARPing. Because I just wanted to bring out the incredible attention to authenticity in terms of props and just everything. And this is one of the higher end LARPs, but you will have found LARPs where they're actually kind of demanding as a minimum standard. If you come you come in costume and they have to be handmade. Having a machine send is not going to be accepted because it's too modern.
Wow.
So in some cases, that's the emphasis. And that's why I, in this presentation, looked for the authenticity and craftsmanship and 360-degree illusion. For the organizer's role in this, because I haven't actually put that in as a keyword, but I probably should have. It's more like the clockwork organizer. You give everybody their plots and their objectives and their motivations, and you work with the players with that. And then the LARP starts, and as an organizer, you have as small a role as possible. You just kind of nudge things along if you need to. But otherwise, it should just take on its own. The player who like this, they're there to experience the different time and place. And some of them don't emphasize role-playing all that much altogether at all. They might just want to be there as a soldier in this army, or hang out at the tavern and just soak in the atmosphere of being in a different place. So it gets very close to the reenactment style of doing things, except there is in fact a plot. And things can open in an open-ended, and it can end in an open-ended fashion. So it's really kind of the borderline between LARP and reenactment in that sense. Going on to the final type, the gamist. You will be fairly familiar with. Conquering challenges, the referee organizer, the mind's eye. This emphasis on being able to imagine stuff, which we haven't talked about very much for the other two. If you have magic in an immersionist LARP, and there will be such, it won't be things where you say you can see a firebolt flying through the sky. It will be some form of spell where the wizard just declares what happens, and you as a player just does that. So the wizard might say it's an arcane incarnation, and it will actually be in a different language. I learned Elvish for an immersionist LARP at one point. And you would actually speak that and say something, and then say the effect to the player, and they would just do it. In this, of course, it's quite different. And I chose this footage. I mean, you're going to be familiar. Anyone who has done buffer LARPing in North America will be familiar with this, I'm going to say. I'm not even sure where this was, to be honest. I was just looking through YouTube for something that I thought was fairly appropriate. And I can't really hear it right now, but you will hear people doing the damage calls and invoking different types of rules. So, absorption and things like that. I'm not sure why it's not coming across.
Spin the volume knob on the keyboard.
Lightning bolt, lightning bolt.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a terrible one.
Well, that's the best one.
It's kind of here.
So in contrast then to the immersionist LARP, you will always have a communication between the players about what rule set are we using right now as this battle goes on. I'm not sure if I have to show you too much of this because you're going to be very familiar with it. So I'm just going to go on, I guess. And also, you can talk about contrasting to the immersionist that, this is more like a campground rather than something they built themselves. So these are quite the contrast between those styles of LARPing. And I picked the Alliance rulebook as the symbol of the gamist LARPing framework. In other words, you have the 100 pages of rules. You do the character, you dropped out the character with how many points you get. You have skills, you have attributes, you have powers, you gain experience points, you level up, and so on and so forth. And in this case, the organizer will be a referee, more. Two players are engaging and challenging with each other, and the referee will be there to see to it that it's transparent and fair. So that's more like how the organizer works there. And of course you can do both stuff as well, but a key role then would be to be a referee. Now, looking at these three, I would argue that there are some commonalities between them and also some ways in which they just wouldn't understand each other at all. And that's kind of what I'm going to go through now. So between the narrativist and the gamist, in both cases we have an organizer that's fairly interventionist. They're interventionists in different ways, but they're there as presences. And in that sense, there's a commonality. For the gamist, it's about seeing to it that the rules are properly implemented. For the narrativist, it's more about how do we bring out things in the scene and just the focus on the story. But they're both interventionists in a way that the immersionist organizer will not want to be. The immersionist organizer will want to wind up the clock and then just let things go, because if the organizer intervenes, you break the illusion. And that's anathema to immersionist thinking. The other thing is really the mind's eye. This idea with, we can imagine the fireball flying through the sky that the gamist would do is akin to, in a way, to how the narrativist would say, okay, let's cut this and let's do a black box scene where you're just having your inner monologue. Because in that sense, both those will not be so focused on the authenticity of the objects around you, but more about what's going on inside the player's head. For the immersionist and the gamist, I picked rules in sci-fi settings, sci-fi and fantasy settings. The immersionist will be using rules that the narrativist will just never care about. When I talked about the setup for the Quiet Dinner with the Family, there were no character sheets, and there's certainly no rules for how you're going to die, no hit points or anything like that, because in the narrativist mindset, okay, if I get hit by something in that particular dinner, it's not very likely because it's about family intrigue, not violence. Then I'm going to do the scene as I think